Hi everyone. So you may remember in my most recent video that I told you that I'm pursuing or potentially pursuing getting my hair locked using the Sisterlocs hair management system. And I mentioned to you in my last video that I was going to have my Sisterlock consultation. So here I am to come back and report to you guys about my experience and what my thoughts are at this point. So I went and had my consultation today. Really nice loctician in the area that I live in, very professional. She gave me really great insight into the Sister Lock installation process, how long it would take, things of that nature. So when I got in there, she gave me just that brief summary of the Sister Lock form, which I had already researched, so a lot of the information I already had, which is good. So I do recommend before you go to your Sister Lock consultation that you do your research online so you can come into your consultation really asking the questions that you may have. She showed me an example of what the starter kit would look like. So if I choose to get the Sister Locks installed, the starter kit basically comes with the Sister Locks brand of shampoo and then two pamphlets that give you tips for how to maintain your locks. And then there's even a certificate that you can send in, a kind of like a Sister Locks birthday, if you will, that where you can receive a certificate if you choose to for kind of the birthday of your locks, which is basically celebrating the day that you got your locks installed and became a part of the Sister Lock family. She then showed me a couple of videos on YouTube that were filmed by the original creator of Sister Locks to just give me a deeper insight into the lock form itself, how you wash them, and just to really celebrate the versatility and the overall aesthetic and look of Sister Locks. So that was really good to see the video and to hear from the creator of the hair management system herself. While I was watching the videos, my loctician was actually going throughout my hair and measuring the length of my hair. And before you go to your Sister Lock consultation, your loctician should ask you to make sure that your hair is washed and free from all oils before you go to your Sister Lock consultation. For me, what I did confirm with my loctician that I could do this beforehand, but I basically washed my hair like I normally do for wash day, and then she also said that I could deep condition my hair as well. So I did those two steps that I normally do during my wash day. What I did not do was add my leave-in conditioner and my stylers and all those things to set the hair. So that's something that I did not do. So my hair would be free of any excess oils or anything like that. I learned a lot, actually from the consultation. One of the things she talked about was it's really good to keep your hair free of oils and pretty much any of those things that really can moisturize the hair, because with those products and stylers and conditioners and all these things that moisturize the hair, they're great for the hair, but they go against the process of the hair actually locking. So I knew that going into it a little bit, but to hear her say that it made more sense, that she explained that. That also means that even though sleeping on a satin pillowcase is really good for loose natural hair, she actually recommended, especially while the locks are settling, that I wear a bonnet, because even the oils that build up inevitably on a pillowcase, even if you wash it frequently as we all should, there's still oils that get on there, and those oils can get in your locks and could hinder the locking process. So she actually says she has a bonnet that she would give me, I guess, on installation day to help with that, to keep my hair from getting oils and all these things that are really good for the hair, but not good for a hair locking process. So that was good to know. They also talked about how to actually wash the locks. And so essentially what I would do is I would take my locks and then I would put it like in a braid or a big twist, and then I would roll up the ends a couple of times and use like a rubber band to seal those ends. And then I would wash the scalp, because as we know, as we've learned in the natural hair community, shampoo is really for the scalp. It's not really intended for natural hair to be for the tresses all the time, right? So you really wash the scalp. And then what they said is, instead of like pulling the rubber band out, you actually would cut the rubber band out. So that way you're not messing with the ends of the hair. So that was interesting to hear that. The part about shampooing wasn't that interesting, because I've done that with my own hair, but about the rubber band and then cutting the rubber band instead of pulling it out, that was something I needed to remember. She also reminded me that the locking process for sister locks, unlike a traditional set of locks, the locking process actually starts at the ends and works its way up. So I thought that was interesting too, that sister locks has that difference. Now, the reason why she was measuring my hair, if you haven't looked into sister locks, the cost for installation is based upon the actual length of the hair. So because of the length of my hair, okay, this is the part that's kind of the sticker shock with this, and I knew it was going to be expensive, so I was prepared. But it's going to be over $1,000 if I choose to install sister locks. Now, for me, I wasn't that shocked because when I did my research, I knew that it was going to be expensive. So I knew that going into it, but I wasn't sure how long my hair was and how that would equate to the cost. So my hair on average is about 8.5 inches across my head. And so the way this loctician bases her cost, she has a baseline cost for up to 4 inches of hair, and then it's like an additional $160 or so for every additional inch of hair. So that's how we got to the cost that we got to. How do I feel about that? It's a lot. I personally have never spent that much money on my hair at one time, to be honest with you. But I also have 3 months. So her availability is not until December, which for me is really helpful because I can start putting away the financial part of it as I need to, so I'm prepared for December. So if I get my hair lock, it won't be until early December. So I wouldn't have an update for you guys until after my installation in early December. But even though the cost is very expensive, I mean, I'm not going to lie, that's really expensive to me. It's still one of those things I feel like that it's a lot of investment on the front end, but in the long run, it becomes more and more affordable. So the retightening cost for this loctician, and if you've ever had locks, you know you have to get your hair retightened as your hair grows out, right? It's kind of like having a relaxer. You have to get your roots, touched up, so that the texture is all the same. So locks are similar in that regard. You have to go back and get it retightened. So her charges to me is not that bad. It's about $30 an hour, and she says it takes about 2 to 3 hours to retighten. So the time frame made sense to me because when I saw online, it matched as far as how long it takes to have your locks retightened. And the cost was actually less than what the average cost that I saw online. So I was pleased that, the retightening cost is really not as expensive as I expected. So that's good. Another thing is this particular loctician in her salon, they actually teach the course that you can take to learn how to retighten your own locks. So with the Sisterlocs form, after 6 months, you can take a class to learn how to retighten your own locks. So that way, you're in control of that process. And for me going into it, that's one of my personal goals because with my loose natural hair, I've taken care of my loose natural hair for almost 10 years now. So I'm definitely used to handling my hair and I'm comfortable with the maintenance part of my hair. So that's another thing I'm thinking, keep in mind is it's a lot of money on the front end to get them installed, but after 6 months, and I can learn how to retighten my own hair, and then I basically go back to the type of maintenance that I have now with my loose natural hair, where I'm controlling my own schedule, I'm controlling when I do my retightening. So I feel better about that. That at some point within a 6-month period, I'll go back to, in a sense, what I'm used to now, maintaining my own hair. Another thing that she talked about was that with Sisterlocs, you really don't need product. So it's really basically, as far as stylers are concerned. So you need a shampoo to keep your hair cleansed. And the Sisterlocs brand has a shampoo product that you can buy. And again, in the starter kit that you get when you get your locks installed, that shampoo is included. So you can buy that particular shampoo. And I believe my loctician also sells those type of products. So that's good. And then really after that, it's just water, y'all. Like you don't really need a lot to maintain it. She said, my loctician said that they do have like a rose water kind of mixture that you can use to spray on the hair to keep it moisturized. But you really could use the rose water or water to set the styles that you want to do. So to do a braid out, or back in the day when it was called crinkles, you can just do that with water. If you want to use flexi rods to put curls in it, you can just use water. So you don't have to use a ton of product. So I feel like this particular hair management system is a system that costs a lot on the front end, but then once you do the installation, after that is really just maintenance at that point. That's really all you have. So that's what I keep focusing on is, okay, it's a lot of money on the front end, but then after that, it's just simple maintenance. So the recommendation for maintenance is to wash the hair once a week, which I do already, so I wouldn't have to really change. I wouldn't be washing my hair more or less frequently than I already do, so that was good for me personally. The second thing is to obviously keep the hair moisturized. So, that's where the rose water spray would come in to help with that. She did say there will be a period where the scalp may be going through like an itchy phase. And she said that's really just because there's the lack of product that you're putting on the hair, like when you have loose natural hair. So she says it's really just your hair transitioning to not having the product on the hair. And she said that they have like a tea tree oil, kind of mixture that can be used to put, on the hair. And I'm hoping that the rose water and the tea tree mix is just something that if it's a recipe, I can just make my own and buy my own. I don't have to go and get something from her per se. So I'm hoping it's something I can easily make myself, which I'm used to DIY stuff. I've had that season in my natural hair journey where I did DIY. So hopefully I can just make those products. So it's shampooing, keeping the hair moisturized, using a mixture on the scalp to help with the itching, and then going in to get your hair retightened every 4 to 6 weeks. That's really the maintenance plan for this. Other than that, it's really easy. My loctician herself has a beautiful set of Sisterlocs that's down, like I would say, to armpit level to, I would say, bra strap level. And she had a client that came in who also had a beautiful set of Sisterlocs. So I can definitely see that, she's very good at what she does. And she's, benefited from Sisterlocs herself. So that was really good to see someone that has the locks that could install your locks. I was very pleased with that. So overall, I had a very, very pleasant, professional, and good experience with my consultation. So now it's just me making the decision to do it or not do it. At this point, if you had to make me answer right now, I would say I'm 90% on board to do it. There was nothing that she said that made me feel apprehensive about the locks itself or maintenance or anything like that. Especially because, again, I've maintained my own hair for almost 10 years. It's a different type of maintenance with Sisterlocs, but then again, it's also a little bit less maintenance if you really think about it. When you think about how often we have to detangle and retwist every night, and a lot of that goes away, with the Sisterloc hair management system. So I didn't hear anything that made me feel deterred from using this hair management system. The only thing is just the sticker shock. It's a lot of money, but the good thing is I have 3 months, to make sure I have the money saved up. And, I talked to my husband about it because it's important, when you're married, to talk about finances, with your spouse. So we've talked about it. And my husband's like, man, it's a lot of money, but if you want to do it, we can make it happen. So he's supportive of it. So at this point, it's just making that investment. That's my 10% of my hesitancy. Is like, oh my gosh, I'm giving up all this for hair. And I've never done that before. So I have some time to think about it. I am going to at least put my money down to reserve my spot in early December. And the money that I put down goes towards the actual installation cost. So that's good. And also my consultation cost was about $25. So there may be a charge for the consultation as well. And the consultation itself took about 45 minutes to an hour, because it was talking, it's watching the video, it's her measuring the hair, it's talking about the cause. So I would say give yourself 45 minutes to an hour for the consultation, which I appreciated because she was thorough, and I appreciate that she took her time to answer my questions and give me good information. So I had a really good experience. Now it's just doing it at this point. So I will follow up with you guys. I hate to make you wait all the way to December, but I'll follow up with you guys, especially if I do it. But I'm really leaning towards doing it. I didn't see or hear anything that made me think otherwise. So let me know down below if you have any questions about the Sisterlocs consultation that I didn't cover in this video. Let me know, again, like I said in my previous video, if you have some experience with locks yourself or have questions, or even if you're not locked and you just want to have a question or feedback, please leave a comment below. And I hope to talk to you guys really, really soon. Bye-bye. Take care.